What's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to another special episode, number 44 of the Tattoo Weekly with myself, Gabe Ripley of TattooNow, and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network. So I haven't been on from location for several weeks. It's been kind of hectic, but I was lucky enough to hang out with Jake last week. So it's really cool at Hell City. Today we have Jesse Smith jumping on at about half past the hour to talk about the Richmond Tattoo Convention. And yeah, what are you guys up to? There's so much that we haven't talked about lately.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, not for you and I. We got to spend the weekend together last weekend ish. I mean, we weren't really hanging out that much, it seems like, but
no, not really.
Yeah, but still, we cross paths a lot. What about you, Gabe? We haven't talked to you in feels like a while.
I am just not buried under. I've been working my ass off on the new tools, the TattooNow tools, and launching. I think I've got like 2 or 3 people launching. I've got a couple of events. I'm working on 3 events coming up.
Nice.
The Inspiring Tours pretty much sold out. We've got 1 ticket left, and I think we sent out 1 email maybe. So working on the next Inspiring Tours for Belize, I believe.
Belize.
Wow. We need to talk about November if we're going to do something down there in
yeah,
whole business or something.
Yeah, I did talk to Baxter at Hell City, Phoenix this last weekend about doing one at the boat next summer. So we're going to go ahead. I'm actually glad you brought that up. I told him I would send him dates, and I'm going to send some dates now. I'm going to get with you and see what you think about next year's dates. So we're not double booking anything. But,
it's amazing. Developing small, awesome group retreat type events, even smaller than retreat type events around the world in amazing places. Go figure. It's an amazing thing to do. So, and we do need to plan in advance. Oh wait, we're still in intros though. So anyways, that's what I've been.
I was going to say,
I'm
if
Gabe
you guys
Ripley,
want to roll through, and then I'll roll the clip.
All right.
Jake.
Oh, we're doing intros and then rolling the clip. And you would think after this long I would have it down. I'm Jake. I'm Jake from the Fireside Tattoo Network. You can find us at firesidetattoo.com or firesidetattoo.network.com, or right now just on YouTube.
Exactly. And I'm Lauren from Raw Pigments and Reinventing the Tattoo. And let's roll.
Okay. While we're back, I want to hype up Jesse a little bit here for people and I'm gonna do a little screen sharing so that we can give the folks some eye candy. Yeah, and we could all jack up Jesse a little bit. He's been awesome forever. Hey Lauren, I think you are a little out of focus on your camera there. But, so this is loosescrewtattoo.com. That's Jesse Smith's amazing tattoo shop. They are wicked busy. So if you're ever interested in doing guest spots or whatever, yeah, check them out. Let them know we sent you. But check out some of these bodysuits. And Jesse was doing bodysuits. I swear he was doing bodysuits 15 years ago.
Yeah.
When I first met him for TattooNow, I don't. He'll tell me when it was maybe, but it might have been 15 years ago. I swear he still had already had 2 or 3 bodysuit clients.
Yeah. Some of these that you're going through are 10 years old, probably 8-10 years old, and they're awesome. It was crazy. The first interview that I ever did with him, I talked to him a lot about doing this large scale kind of pastel, doing these huge fields of like teal or not even teal, like the soft mint greens and things like that. And I was like, oh, what, like, isn't it not nerve wracking, like trying to pack all these buttery, like light colors into skin and then just wonder what's going to happen to them over time? Because back when he was doing this, a lot of these colors were kind of brand new. You didn't have, like you hadn't really seen these, like I said, that light mint color healed in, in large scale tattoos at all. So I would have been nervous about it. But anyways, that was our first conversation back in Oregon. I don't know, several years ago now. And it was a really good episode. Yeah, these are awesome.
I wonder, like, his descriptions of how he describes his tattoos, if this is like 10 years old, if that was kind of like the precursor to what he's doing now with a lot of his creative endeavors, with the character.
Yeah, that world's existed for in his brain for a very long time.
Yeah. That Carcaeus or whatever, like he had kind of the way he explained it to me, maybe he'll go into it a little bit. The way he explained it to me was that he had all these different characters and he kind of had a story for some of them in his own mind, and then started like deliberately creating narratives around all these different characters. So these two different tattoos in his mind were from the same story and had some relationship, but the clients neither knew anything about, the relationship between their two tattoos. So kind of interesting. Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And my next screen show is going to be for the Richmond show. So Lauren, do you have any Jesse stories to
Oh, Jesse stories? I don't know so much, but I love that he's from Richmond, so that's something that we connect on. I've been to Loose Screw maybe like right when they kind of relocated down in Richmond. But yeah, I got to hang out with him in Hell City. I thought it was really cool that his son and I were born at the same hospital, but that's about it. He's a great dude. He's super funny. His understanding of pigment is incredible. I think he's gone down past it, like nerdy paths with understanding his pigment, as we've seen in his seminar, more so than most. It's extremely interesting to see the limited palette that he does use now after all that research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And he's done a lot of light fast testing over the years, kind of like really rudimentary light fast testing, basically painting tattoo ink on pieces of paper and like sticking them in the window for a year to see what happens, in the sun, which is
doesn't he have a tattoo patch on his thigh, maybe? Or is that
maybe
Marcus Leonard? Maybe
Marcus Leonard does, on his hand, I think. Maybe is that not right? I think it's like right here on his hand. I might be wrong, but
awesome.
Yeah.
So but we're not talking about Richmond yet. That's the teaser, so that people stay on for the rest of the show. You guys want to start talking about Hell City, huh? Because you guys were both there, so I had to live vicariously through you guys.
Yeah. Lauren, you want to kick it off? How did Hell City go for you?
Oh, it was awesome. So we we drove there with some friends from Columbus at Red Tree. So we started out, and when I got there, it was like 6 o'clock on the dot. So I jumped in on the tattoo collecting podcast. My friend Adam was there, and it was his first podcast ever. So it was really cool to see him kind of break through that bubble. And then I saw like all the stuff that they had at Red Tree, which is super well organized. I know Kyle and Jess had a big hand in that. All the pallets and stuff, it got loaded onto a truck. And by the time we got to Phoenix, that huge truck was there. We got there early. I was there on Tuesday, and the convention obviously started on Friday. So it was kind of like a nice little fly on the wall to see how the AV guys work together, how Derb has it extremely well organized amongst everybody. It was really cool though. He rented several villas right by the pool. So it was kind of just a really unique experience being there with everyone and seeing how well articulated the process is. When we actually got in on Thursday to set up, it was super smooth. Got that done. And by Friday, it was like, holy shit, there are a lot of really good influential tattooers here. Really, really good competitions, everything. The vibe was great. So yeah, then when I saw you on Friday, Jake, that was pretty cool. We kind of, your client was really cool.
Yeah. I had Tim. I had him Friday and Sunday, and then another piece on Saturday. But I was glad to bring Tim along. He's one of my big collectors. I've done 2 sleeves, a full front, and now we're starting a neck to knee back, which is what you saw of me working on. And he's great. We've become good friends. I've got a really fun. Let's see, what is Tim's? I don't think that I'm sure there are plenty of Tim's tattoos on here, but I definitely
2 weeks ago. I definitely put anything up from Hell City.
I haven't put anything out. I did just a couple of stories from Hell City, but yeah, so Tim, I had kind of a fun story. Tim really went to hang out and party, and I on Saturday night I tattooed fairly late, and Tim and my wife Emily and another friend had kind of hung out and bar hopped all day, like you do at the Biltmore, just like hung at the bar all day. And then the big pool party is Saturday night. So by the time I got there for the pool party, Tim had already crashed and burned. He had had multiple bottles of wine and was long gone. And so the next morning I'm supposed to tattoo him. And I texted him early in the morning and I said, hey, I heard you had you crashed early last night. How are you feeling? No answer. So I text him an hour or so later, like 11 o'clock. And I'm like, hey, are you awake?
Real quick, Gabe.
What was that?
Can you go back to that piece? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. I said,
oh,
yeah,
on Lois. So not that one, the next one, the tiger. This was cool because this was Amber, Joy, and Antoine. So it's cool because obviously, well, Amber came a day early, so I was hanging out with her and they were working on this design. And it's cool to see from, like they thought it was for Mika, but Mika ended up not being able to go from 1807 Art Collective. So they did this on our photographer that we brought, Lois.
Yeah, that was really awesome. That was a great
firm.
That was a great piece. Yeah. But anyways, long story short with Tim, I couldn't find him. End up going to Biltmore Security and breaking into his room thinking I'm going to find him dead on the bed. But luckily he made it. He just lost everything, his phone, his wallet, his everything the night before and had no way to get in touch with any of us. But yeah, it was like one of the more terrifying experiences I've had at a convention. I was positive I was going to walk into that room and find him,
I actually found him by the Catalina pool that morning.
Did you?
Yeah. I was live at the time.
Good. I'm glad.
Doing like a live stream?
Yeah, he's on the live stream talking about how fabulous he is. But Jake, honestly, with all due respect, you really did a great job on his chest, on his arms. Everything was really great.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things that I've seen. And for anyone watching, Jake's client is a trauma nurse, which is very heavy. But I really liked his reasoning for the tattoos. And he told me that he wanted to be beautiful as the last thing that anyone sees before they pass. So it's really cool that you're able to do that for him, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. I love his mindset on that too. He really does a difficult, hey, I'm in that picture somewhere. He really does a difficult job and he has the perfect kind of mindset for it. He's a positive guy. So yeah, I was happy he got to come along and now he wants to come to every convention, even when we're finished tattooing. He just wants to come enter competitions. He's sold on tattoo conventions now.
The competitions were pretty tight though. Like I did a little like filming for one of the nights or something, but I was thoroughly impressed. There was some Forrest G was pretty funny. Yeah, there were some pretty amazing pieces, I would say.
Yeah, congratulations to my great friend Ty Pilata taking tattoo of the day on Saturday. I was so proud of him. Like nice. Had tears in my eyes whenever I saw that he won that. It's he's a hardworking guy and he's like always trying to get better. And of course he's won a lot of awards. If you go to his studio, he has tons of awards, but nothing quite like winning a Saturday tattoo of the day at Hell City. That's a big deal. So I was really happy for him.
You probably hear me. I mean, that I'm very anti-sports, right? So like for me, but I have this very weird slice of competition. Evidently, I didn't realize this until the first year I didn't have a tattoo shop at Hell City and didn't win an award. I was like, what the fuck? Those are actually those people used to work in my tattoo shop winning awards. Not people. I'm not doing anything. Fuck! I gotta get back there. I gotta get some shit together and win some. Wait, I don't want awards.
Your old crew is still winning awards. I know
they're
Gabe
fucking
Londas,
killing it, man.
Yeah, Gabe Londas is. He runs that Hell City show.
Matt Driscoll's fucking.
And Driscoll,
stick tattooer can't.
I definitely heard their names called over the weekend up there. So,
well, they better look out. 6 years from now, we'll have somebody else in our booth.
Big Easy Edwards says, "Hey, all from Australia." Speaking of Australia, I watched this Elvis movie last night. I'd never seen it before. Elvis was from my town, and it was filmed in Australia. They had like recreated a Beale Street and a Graceland and all this stuff in Australia. It's like, what the hell? Why wouldn't you film it here? We have all that stuff for real. Sun Studios is still open. You could have filmed in it. But I guess Memphis probably didn't give the same incentives to the production that Australia did.
Australia might. Yeah. I love Australia. I was down there. I was talking about this one of the other streams. Although they do have a crazy biker tattoo scene, right? So it definitely spoils some of the fun.
I've heard some really crazy stories. Do you guys want to hear one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to say who because it doesn't matter. A friend of mine who's been a friend for a few years, he told me, he's like, look, I'm so sorry. Can you resend something? I was like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I was tattooing. Some guys walked in, they locked us to the bathroom. They poured gasoline on my entire shop and then set it on fire and walked out.
Whoa. Where was
Real
this?
sad.
Australia,
Australia. Wow.
Western Australia. So like,
Wow.
yeah, and then luckily he said his client was a big dude. They broke through the door and got out, but that's
Ooh.
just how things work.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I remember
Oh.
being at the after hours party of the tattoo convention, and the bouncer comes over to us and is like, tells fucking Nico to cover up his tattoos. He was showing his tattoos to Tony Rommel, and I'm just like, this like, and you know, the convention promoter did their best to have the after hours party at a cool spot, but it was literally like the bouncers were telling fucking these guys that they can't show off their tattoos to each other.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard stories of like someone, and I can't remember if you told me this, Jake or Gabe, of how someone was upset about a competition or something like that, and they ended up saying something and that was terrible. So they, after the show, they had one of their fingers cut off.
Oh, yeesh. No, I don't remember that. But anyways, anybody that's down there tattooing, fucking keep it up, because
Yep.
it's awesome. People getting great tattoos and giving great tattoos in respectable places, pushing things forward. That pushes things
Yeah.
forward. I mean, that's redundant, but
They have some incredible artists in Australia. It's unbelievable. My favorite black and gray artist would be Harrison Tattoo. I'm not sure.
you're out of focus again,
Yeah, it keeps doing
Damn.
that.
Lauren.
It's
Sorry
been doing
about
it
that.
all day.
My camera goes through phases where it wants to do that. I don't know why. I haven't figured out what I do to. Usually I fix it by putting my hand up and letting it focus on my hand and then bring it back to my face. But that doesn't always work. Yeah, that's crazy. Speaking of Australia, I didn't talk to him, but I saw I think he's from Australia, really good neo-traditional tattooer, Matt Curzon. Yeah,
Curzon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
I watched him work a little bit. I saw a piece. He was working on a rib panel, but I'm assuming the back piece that was settled and healed on that
He's in
same
the
person
States?
was his.
He was at Hell City.
Oh,
was
I
in
didn't know
Hell
he was in the
City, yeah.
States. Damn.
He's like my
Yeah.
favorite, one of my favorite color artists in the world. That's
Yeah,
really,
Matt
I'm surprised
Curzon.
he was there, honestly.
He has a really interesting kind of wardrobe style. Like he wears all these conflicting patterns. Like I mean, he was hard to look at. He had like palm trees on his hat and like dolphins on his shirt and plaid shorts or something. It was like, whoa.
Fuck, that's on somebody. That's not like the design. That's on somebody.
Yeah. I thought he posted.
Did you have a
the
chance
piece
to
of
talk
the
to him at
deal.
all, Jake?
No, I didn't. I didn't really
either.
see him out. I just saw him at the booth. So
Yeah, he's really cool.
it seemed like it. I love his work, and I've never really seen it healed, but there was a big fullback tiger back piece on this person that I believe was probably his. And it looked like butter. It was really, really good.
Mhm.
I think we'll see a lot of, I don't know if I'll go to Richmond, but that's where my family is from, but see a lot of Jesse's work walking around. Or
Yeah, that's great.
in general.
Yeah.
The Richmond show
Yeah.
is pretty fun. But we can't talk about Richmond until he gets on there.
Well, are we on? Oh, it's 10:23.
Although maybe we talk about it first and then let him talk about it when he's on or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a legendary show, the Richmond show.
Mhm. Yeah, I did back to Hell City. I did a fun little project where I walked around and just did mobile or like, rapid fire interviews. And I asked everyone about their opinion on the term tattoo gun, why tattooers hate it so much. And so I got some really fun answers, conflicting answers. And so I'm clipping that together. I hope to get it put out this week, but it was fun. Some of those folks that are on there, I talked to Zach Singer about it. I talked to Marvin Silva, a lot of people that you're passing through right now. Brian Geckel. Yeah, I talked to Brian Geckel about it.
It was cool in the pool party because you got to see a lot of those guys' back pieces.
Yeah.
And Brian's back is so dope.
Who did that?
I can't remember because we were talking to him about it. If anyone's watching can comment, but it's seriously
awesome.
flawless.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, from across the way.
Gecko's back piece?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I've seen it before at Hell City years past, but I'd forgotten. I saw it. I saw it Saturday night. It was like, holy crap! In the dark, even that thing looks awesome. So good. I don't know who did it. It has some like colored geometry, kind of like no outline geometry, background shapes, and then a big kind of underlit skeleton, kind of, or not skeleton. It's a woman's head, right? In the foreground.
In the middle,
it's really, really good. Perfect kind of balance of light and dark and intense color and black and gray, and it's solid, real solid. I don't know if you noticed, there was a woman, and I never caught her attention, that was right next to our booth, to the left where Dave Tevenall was, and and she had a dragon back piece that was like kind of traditional, Japanese traditional, really settled in, a green dragon with just soft kind of not finger waves, but the kind of wind bars in the background, very traditional. I mean, even the drawing itself looked like an oversized piece of flash, but it was technically one of the most, it looked like it kind of grew out from her skin. It didn't even look like a tattoo. It was so nice. Did you see her at all? She had short, kind of choppy, bright colored hair, but she was there kind of on and off all weekend at that booth. And I kept, every time I would look up and try to catch her attention, she was talking to somebody. So I never found out who did it. Yeah.
It was cool. Our booth placement was pretty cool. So we had Gabe Neotat, Ray was there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's been working on some cool stuff lately. It'd be fun to talk to him. I like that he takes an idea and he won't stop until the idea is in his hand.
Yeah. He was interesting. I think we're going to do a Fireside episode together. I went up and asked him, I interviewed him for the tattoo gun question, which was great. I got him and Carson Hill. So 2 machine builders and then just a bunch of tattooers. Yeah.
Nick Baxter was working on Carson, just some probably filler or something like that.
Redoing a piece that he and Guy had done on Carson. I don't know.
Oh, well,
15 years ago. Yeah. And it really looked awesome.
It was funny when I walked by for the first time. Nick's just going, and I just see Carson look over slowly.
Yeah. Nick's not that easy to get tattooed by. It's funny. Nick was one of the first ones that I went around and asked the tattoo gun question to, and I did like 3 or 4 of them. And then before I went and did the other 20, I jumped back over to my laptop at the booth just to make sure that the audio was going to be okay. And I realized I had filmed it in slow-mo, so there was no audio. So I did interview Nick, but he's not on there.
What did he have to say about it?
I forget that everyone, they were so rapid fire that I can't remember. There are only a couple of people that I can remember exactly what they what they said. I forget what.
That'll be cool to watch though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's say Nick's going to be here at the Inspiring Tours. It's already too late probably by the time you're watching this to get a ticket, unless you're watching it right now and literally put a deposit down. But
I do know someone that was asking about that ticket, so we'll see if she wants.
Well, they should get it quick. But, especially if they're cool. We're trying not to, but we'll do more of these if you want to get on the wait list.
Is that part of your application? Do you see? Or is there like a?
Yeah, we've got people can put in for New Hampshire, New Mexico, Prague, Australia, Vietnam, Venice, or Egypt.
Wait a minute. Are those real plans, or are they just like
as soon as 5 people click those buttons, we're going.
Oh,
holy shit!
Nice.
Although Belize, I think, is the probably the next
question,
most likely one.
Who are you thinking for Belize? Do you have artists?
Baxter and Sean Barber both were down with it.
Okay.
But I do have other artists that have been talking about going. One in particular to Italy. I don't really want to talk about too much until we, do it. But
sure.
On another note, completely aside, Aaron Deladova is setting up a studio to do podcasts, and he's an amazing tattooer, massive bodysuits. If you had a chance to do an Inspiring tour with him, you definitely should hop on it.
Definitely.
But in the meantime, give him a follow and check out his new studio podcast.
I saw something several months ago about him, like some little clip of him either buying gear or setting up a room or something that made me think that's what he was doing.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite off the map live interviews. People do a search for Aaron Deladova, off the map live. He was like, tattooing's about love, or I'm about love. I'm like, love, dude, this is a fucking tattoo podcast. I can't talk about love. I mean, you can. I mean, okay. So,
we had him on Fireside a couple of times. Once at Hell City, Phoenix, I think, and then again I went and did a full series at Guru. So I interviewed the majority of the tattooers there.
I'll screen share his shit a little bit. I mean, this is like fucking, well, it's like male back piece day, but let's see here. It's like back piece day.
Chef Ken Byrne says good morning from Boston. Man, we got chefs watching the show now.
And also good morning to Jason, if you're still watching.
Oh, I did tell Jason good. I texted, or I chatted good morning to Jason, but I didn't.
Oh, this is straight from my heart to you, Jason.
Yeah, here's some of Aaron's work.
What's this?
What is his? Have you talked to him? What's this podcast about? Is it a tattoo podcast, or I know
I haven't talked to him briefly about it, and he might be. When he gets a little bit closer, we'll chat about maybe bring him on to the Reinventing Network even.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, I missed an opportunity, and I just completely spaced it. I was coming back from Hell City, but we were doing a podcast roundtable with Steph that does Tattoo
Sebastian.
Tales. Yeah, Sebastian.
Yeah, he's great.
So it was going to be me, Tattoo Tales, what's Books Closed? Andrew.
Oh, Andrew Storch.
Oh
Yeah, he's
yeah,
awesome.
he's really cool.
He's
Yeah,
great.
and then I forget the guy's name, but his podcast is called No Lies, Just Bullshit or something
Yeah,
like that.
for sure. Yeah.
And anyway, so they went on and did the podcast. I just missed the Zoom call. So I wasn't on it, but I don't know if it's out yet, but I'm definitely going to check it out. It was a good idea.
We have to, let's see, we have to show off Andrew's claim to fame here. Oh, fuck
He's
you,
funny.
Tattoo Now.
Jesse is here, so in a couple minutes we can go ahead and bring him in as well.
Jesse, bring him in. Jesse's going to want to see this. Jesse loves this guy, or he will love this guy.
Yeah.
I'm going, where's it? My favorite tattoos or something? Where's most famous tattooer on Instagram?
Oh yeah. I think that I remember when he was doing some of this stuff, right. Before he did Books Closed, right? And Pope Tattooer. What's up, Jesse? How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Sorry I gave you the wrong time.
Oh, it's all good.
I was wondering about that, Jake.
I just said 10:30, but it is 10:30 for me. We just Richmond feels like it should be in the same time zone as Memphis. I don't know why, but it seems like it should.
It's on the East Coast.
It is definitely weird.
Yeah.
Jesse, can you turn your phone sideways?
Oh, sorry.
There's going to be a supercut someday of me just fucking, can you turn your phone sideways?
There are, Medusa is telling me about a drinking game for some of the reinventing shows. And Gabe, when you like do that thing with your tea, everyone must drink. There's a few.
Awesome.
But Jesse, it's really cool to see you again. It's been a few months.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long, has it?
Yeah.
It's been
Hell
City, Columbus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. When was that? That was
End of May.
that was a while ago. Wow.
Yeah, May. Yeah, summer zipped by like it always does. So
Hey, I'm
you're
gonna
like,
try something. Tell me if this messes it up. Hold on.
okay.
Does that
You're
work?
good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're in full like scramble mode now, production mode. What's happening with where do you stand right now promoting the Richmond show?
Yeah, for the most part, the show is completely sold out. I think we got a few little scraggler booths that, you get those cancellations, and you got a couple booths that open up. But for the most part, we're completely sold out. Now it moves into promo mode. So we just start promoting the show and building content for the marketing team. And hopefully we'll be getting everything out here shortly.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of it. If for folks who are watching this on the Fireside channel, if you've seen the guest list, leave us a note or in the chat here. Let me know who I should reach out to podcast with. A lot of these people actually don't know. I mean, a lot of them I do, but there are quite a few names that I don't recognize. So if there's anyone that you guys think we should reach out to try to do some episodes with, let me know. Jesse, you got any ideas? Who's entertaining to talk to?
Broer, as always. I see him there. Broer right there on the far left. He's a funny character, him and Stefano. If you're not familiar with Broer, he rolls with Stefano quite a bit, and he's come a long way in the last 10 years.
It really has. Like I hate to, it always feels weird to say it like that, but like, holy shit, dude, you got really fucking good. Like, not I didn't expect it, but like,
yeah,
he got good.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him. Throw me one more. Who else? Jesse, who should I reach out to?
Josh is super entertaining,
Yeah, I've never had. I talked to Josh at every show. I just saw him last weekend, but I've never had him on. I'll reach out to Josh. Josh Payne, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun to talk to, man. I really, some other people that I would like, that I think might be of interest is I got a couple NFT guys that are going to be there.
Oh, do you? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy Ugonzo and this guy Genius, and they're both they do this project called the Psycho Kitties. And they're going to be painting at the Live Art for Charity side, and they sold $8 million worth of NFTs in 60 minutes.
Whoa! Wow!
So
You
they-
got
that-
what
And then
was
it
the other
bounced
Gonzo
up to
is-
$16
Gonzo's
million
pretty dope.
in value, and then down to $4 million in value, and then up to $10 million in value.
All right.
Casey
Yeah.
Gonzalez, I'm assuming you're talking about, right, Jesse?
Who is it?
Casey Gonzalez.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, I was thinking, Gonzo, he's been doing some little NFT projects that have been pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is.
You said Gonzo, is that what you said, Jesse?
Yeah, it's Gonzo. He's under the live art for charity section.
Okay.
Him and Genius, they did this project called the Psycho Kitties. It's one of the first projects to drop on crypto.com.
Hmm.
So they'll be there painting live for the live art for charity event. You know, Frank Linatra is going to be showing up with his NFT.
Yeah, I should reach out to him. Yeah.
Javi's actually very, very fun to talk to. He's from Tattoo Theory down in Miami. He's got an NFT project as well. So we got a lot of NFT stuff showing up at this convention. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I'd love to focus more on that. You know, we did that short series with you, Baxter, and Frank Linatra, and your guy Jason. Are you still working with Jason?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know. I don't think I would be where I am in the NFT space if it wasn't for him. I mean, when artists hit me up and they're like, how do I get involved? How do I do NFTs? I'm like, you know, I can teach you the art side and I can kind of point you in that direction. But as far as the technical stuff, I mean, Jason's definitely helped me out a ton.
Yeah. He was awesome. He was really helpful. But yeah, I'd love to expand on that series and maybe talk to some different NFT artists and technical folks. So one of the what do you call it? The what's the NFT term? The utilities of your NFTs is access to the Richmond show, isn't that right?
Yeah, and definitely. So if you own one of my NFTs, you get into the Richmond convention or any event that I throw moving forward, you'll get in for free. But then I also extended it to every NFT project that's at the Richmond convention. So Gonzo and Genius and Battle Bunnies from Frank Linatra, Bored to Death Crew from Javier's project. And then we've got another project there called Beatheads, another one that pretty much made millions of dollars in less than a couple hours. They'll be there as well. So anyone that owns any of those NFTs gets into the convention for free. You know, I'm really trying to like stimulate that side of the tattoo convention. I think that there's a lot of amazing artists in the NFT space that I really, it's really fun. It's like, you know, it's like when I first got into the tattoo space, it was a relatively small crew of artists who were doing good work. And, you know, there was just this whole world to be built in front of us with the tattoo industry. And then now it's the same thing with the NFT space. It's like, it's so new and it's such a small little group. I mean, like you said, it's like Nick Baxter, Adrian Dominic, you know, Frank Linatra, Javi, myself, Joey Hamilton, you know, and there might be another 10
I think
people.
Ivana's doing some NFTs.
Who's that?
Ivana, you know Ivana?
I don't know Ivana.
She's sick. She goes. She's like a world class tattooer. Fucking
Yeah, Russian,
sick.
right?
She's like crazy in Europe too. She got a fucking sleeve from anyway. She's also doing an NFT project.
Isn't Megan Jean did one with you guys as well, didn't she, or no?
Yeah, Megan. Stefano is working with us. That project, fortunately, the owner didn't really do what he could have done with it, and it just kind of flopped. But you know, yeah, they were all putting together stuff. I mean, it's you know, it doesn't feel like it right now because we're in a bear market, but it's pretty much, I think it's a whole new artistic avenue for anyone who wants to explore different avenues for their art, you know?
Yeah. I have along that, the idea of like generative art, and this is a little bit different, but I've started playing around some and following some artists who are getting really good with the AI art, like where basically you just give prompts, you give verbal prompts, commands, and it generates. And if you guys know Jeremy Geddes, jeremyispainting.com, one of the great painters in the world, he has a site he has an Instagram page called Jeremy Is Not Painting, and it's just his prompts and this AI art. Holy shit, it is crazy. I mean, it's like it makes you have like like as an artist, as someone who draws for a living, it puts you in crisis mode because you're just like, holy shit. I mean, I'm out of a job. This stuff is so good. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my buddy Jason here at the shop, and I'm showing him, the AI stuff. And for those out there that don't know, they've got a couple. There's a bunch of them, but the main ones are like Dolly. It's DALL, and then apostrophe E.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Mid Journey, which is another one. That one's on Discord. And there's another one called Night Cafe. But basically, you just go in there and you give them a couple verbal prompts. You could say, house, monkey,
Yeah, in the style of a certain artist, you could say, yeah, monkey is Rembrandt or something like that, or whatever. That's look at these things. I mean, like they're freaking crazy good. Like that one with the astronaut, he used his own name as the prompt, I think he said, because he painted those floating astronauts. But come on, like.
And you can also like upload photos. So in Dali, you can upload a photo of like one of your pieces of artwork, and then you can go in and you can like change your prompts to go on top of that, and you can kind of erase some of it if you want, and only manipulate certain parts of it.
Wow.
I mean, it's insane. The thing is, though, is after you see a bunch of this artwork, then it does get a tad bit redundant.
Yep.
It loses its flair because you realize that it's a relatively easy process. I mean, I think what Jeremy's doing here is pretty amazing, but and everyone's going to get something a little bit different. But in the end, when you see something that amazing, now, at least with me, is when I see something that amazing, I'm like, okay, that's probably AI. And especially when you see it from an artist who doesn't have any sort of portfolio or anything, and everything has it has the same feel, but it is different imagery and different subject matter. It's not exactly like, when an artist is doing art, they typically, like Jeremy Geddes, he likes astronauts and explosions and stuff like that. And you see that in almost all of his artwork. And then you look at that portfolio and you see a bunch of different stuff,
Yeah.
I've definitely seen a couple of artists that are using it to present to their clientele, tattoo designs that they would never be able to draw, but maybe they could tattoo it. Like, I mean, is it super different than like,
I've been testing it.
Tools, it's just like next level of Russ's tools, right?
Well, it's I mean, it's I don't even know how it's putting it all together. It's just it's scrubbing the internet and trying to assemble a composition. But exactly. I've been testing it just to get ideas for when I have new projects coming up. Like Lauren, you were talking about the back piece that I worked on at Hell City this weekend, and that is this idea of a firefly with all these bugs trying to fly into the open flame in her belly. And so I used prompts like Caravaggio, Ascension of Christ, firefly, stuff like that, just to see like what it would throw at me. And I didn't end up with any results like what you're seeing with Jeremy there, but it was still at least like enough that I could pull one in and like use a smudge tool and move some shapes around and start an idea. So it's pretty cool for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a game changer. I mean, and like you said, there's somewhat of a crisis mode there, for I think it's going to hit a certain genre of artists that's going to affect. I don't know.
It's going to hit everybody. I mean, right? This is what we just watched. I mean, all this shit rolled out in a year. How many months ago was the first time you saw one of these AI things on a Instagram? Like 6 months ago.
It was fast for me. I feel like I was late to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's machine language learning, right? So it's like it's about the data, and I mean, and this is the same effect that they have in medicine, right? Like you have the computers go through and scour the internet for all the stuff.
Man, that would be a fun side project not for this year's Richmond show, but since you're doing since you like testing, different ideas like the glory hole tattoos and all that kind of stuff, it'd be cool to like set up laptops on a big screen and just like, I don't know if you could do it competition style, but like, like prompt AI generated art, as like a live event.
Make your best or the best prompts. They actually had, I thought I saw somebody complaining that somebody had the title of an AI artist.
But
like the best AI art, fuck it, run with it, right? I mean,
there's definitely something to the prompts. Like I haven't figured it out, but obviously some people have. Jeremy has.
honest, I was playing around with it, and I'm trying to do my style of stuff through the AI, and it just wasn't working. But I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I maybe put like an hour of playing around. I think it's just a matter of time before it's going to become a little more tightened down and stuff like that. And yeah, I do think that it's something that artists definitely should be aware of. You know, it's just like anything. You may not like the direction the world's moving in, but some of this stuff like this, you can't stop it. It's going to keep on moving, so you might as well jump on.
Yeah, and learn to use it as a tool. I like that that's super cool that Jeremy puts in those prompts and gets those images out of it. But I look at the images and I'm like, those are some really interesting color palettes that I would never think of. I could just snag the color palette, or whatever.
Yeah. Just real quick, the chef that's watching, that's also a tattooer, we should definitely get in touch, because sometimes when we're doing these inspiring tours, we need chefs.
Oh yeah.
If you cook with weed, hire. No, sorry. Anyways, carry on.
What would you say, Lauren? You broke up on us, I think.
I said I do.
Oh yeah.
Makes funny.
Jesse, what about since I don't know how much time we have left, but as far as Richmond goes, we haven't talked about we got 15 minutes. We haven't talked about the academy at all yet. What the live seminars, who's doing seminars this year and when and all that?
Yeah, so it's going to happen on the Monday following the convention. That's the 24th of October. And we're going to have Andy Chambers. We're going to have Stefano Alcantara. We're going to have Nick Mitchell. We're going to have this guy named Drug Free Dave. He did children's books illustrations. He does a lot of 3D sculpting on Nomad Sculpt. I don't know if you've heard of that program, but it's pretty awesome.
Nomad Sculpt, huh?
Yeah, and then we're also going to have a panel of NFT artists. So that'll be free to everybody, whoever wants to come through, and you guys can come through and ask them questions. Ugonzo and Genius will be up there. Yeah, there's drug-free stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that it's not just all tattooers as well. And you kind of made that a habit last year, or not last year, but the last one that you did was had like Esau and Gary Villarreal and some really great illustrators. Did Gary do one?
African masks, and I love going to the museum and I'll just take pictures of things.
Gary just painted in the charity event. He didn't do a seminar, did he?
Yeah, he did a seminar maybe the year prior. So always had artists involved in it, but I'm still been trying to play with the formula of. The problem is I actually broke the academy up into 2 different days last year. It was Thursday and it was Monday, and Thursday tattoo artists, and Monday was all the fine artists, and nobody signed up for Monday. So at last minute I had to switch everything to Thursday, because it was just like people just don't know. They don't know these artists. They had never heard of Esau, and they never heard of Gary Villarreal and these guys. So they're not as likely to take those classes. So, I think as the convention grows, and my goal with the convention is just to make it a massive bridge of artists, having your tattoo artists, your muralists, your NFT artists, your sculptors, every different genre of art as possible being involved there. Of course, tattooing being the staple of that. But I just think I always loved all the conventions, like the ones that Gabe put together that always had tons of different artists there. And, of course, Derb, those events where you're meeting your favorite painter, or you're learning how to sculpt and then taking that and bringing that into your tattooing and stuff like that. So I definitely want to try to make sure I'm always kind of exploring all different types of art and getting them involved in the convention.
Yeah. That I noticed that, and I've only been to the show once since you've been running it, but it's very immersive in different types of art and, activities, just kind of in general. I really loved the outside experience last time with like all the painters were doing giant, how big were those boards? They were 6 by 8 or something. They were massive paintings these guys were doing for charity.
Yeah, all of them are 4 foot by 4 foot, but there's also
Okay.
there's a back panel that they paint on. So that was probably what you were talking about.
Mhm.
That kind of catches all the overspray and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
doing 4 foot panels, and then we auction those off at the end of the convention, and then we give all the proceeds to charity.
And it seems like you're getting like, as opposed to say like a like what they do at Health City, where with the charcoal, where everybody is zips
Art
through.
Fusion?
Yeah, Art Fusion, where those are kind of like fun, but not always, not or rarely are they really good paint drawings at all. But they but and they sell for $50 or $100 or whatever. But you were generating some like real money on this. I think I saw Gary's painting. I went to bid on it, and the bidding was like at $8,000 or something already. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, ESAL's went for 11 grand.
Wow.
So yeah, we did good last year, and it's all about the quality artists too. Like Gary. I mean, that dude's amazing. I mean, he's doing something different this year. I'm excited. And the crazy thing is I invited everyone who came last year to come back this year, and every single one of them came back except Esau. And the only reason Esau didn't come back is because he's moving to New York. So like, the fact that the artists are just constantly coming back and they had such a good time. I mean, it's not like I'm paying them a ton of money and I'm not doing anything crazy for them. I'm just providing a situation where they don't have to come out of pocket. But like, they're essentially doing it because they had so much fun, So I'm really excited to know that event is something that people look forward to every year.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's too bad he's not going to make it back. We had him on, I podcasted with him after that show, and that was one of the more challenging podcasts. He was so dead set against being on camera. He's such a shy guy that I was like he would get 2 or 3, 10 minutes into the show and just be like, I don't know why I did this. Like in the middle of the interview, like, this was a terrible idea. I'm like, I'm going to cut that out and let's kind of keep rolling. But he's so good, man. He's just such a next level painter.
He's such a sweet guy too. What I mean?
Yeah.
He's got this I've been following his work for 20 years, maybe now 15 years. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while. And of course, when you see someone's art, you have this idea of who they are in their head. And when you see someone that's that good, you're like, man, they're going to have a level of arrogance to them or something like that. And you meet him and he's just so shy and humble. And you're just like, God, man, the artwork you put out is so confident and so amazing. And then his personality, is almost refreshing in a way, because you're like intimidated by his artwork, but then his personality is very inviting. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I'll be excited to meet and see the new folks this year. And I was planning to tattoo 2 days and podcast one day, but one of my appointments canceled, which turned out to be pretty cool. It gives me a whole extra day to walk around with a camera and help Adam out. And I'm actually bringing Gabe. I'm bringing Dan with me to the show to help run videos. So we should be able to get some cool footage, interviews, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, Adam's really excited about it.
Yeah. I was glad that worked out. When Jesse first reached out about documenting the event, I knew it would be a challenge for me. So I reached out to Adam and they were able to work it out. And the stuff that I've seen Adam do is really, really solid. He's a much better technical camera person than me, and then also just building compositions through video. He's better than me, so I'm glad that worked.
He made a video for me at
Red videographer.
At Red Tree.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Took him 5 seconds. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna pop up, and I was like, whoa, that's great, man. Looks awesome. And I had completely forgot about him until you put him back on my radar, and I was like, oh yeah, that was that dude from Red Tree. So I'm glad.
That worked out. Again.
Yeah, Adam's dope. He actually, Jesse, I don't know if you know this, he works right across the hall from me. We're both in Appleton.
Oh, nice. Did he used to work for was it Empire Inks?
Yep.
At one time? Gotcha. And that's where you guys met?
No, we met before that. We live in the same city, so.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll do what else? We're down to about the last 5 minutes. Jesse, is there anything in particular that you want to make sure people know about the show? Obviously the dates are important, and where it is.
It's in Richmond, Virginia. For those who don't know, this convention is one of the longest annually running shows in the world. It started in 1988 as a tattoo club, and people like Paul Rogers and J.D. Crow and Lyle Tuttle and Gil Monty and all these guys would just come to the hotel every year, the same hotel that we throw it in. They'd come in every year and they would just share tips and tricks and tattoo one another. And then it ended up turning into a tattoo convention in 1992, I think. And it's been running annually ever since, aside from the pandemic, of course. But, that's another thing you'll notice if you come to the convention is we try to keep our foot in the tradition of the show. There's a lot of artists there who are old timers and who have been, cutting their teeth on this show for 20 plus years. So it's really cool to kind of be able to keep your foot in that, but then also in the same room have NFTs. So that good spectrum of artists in the same space. And, that's something that my partner and I have always tried to stay true to. My partner is definitely more on the traditional side, and obviously I'm a little more on the progressive side, but we both respect each other's, what each other brings to the convention and the different flavors that we bring. So then we got the Academy that we just discussed. We're going to have, I think we're going to end up trading out the Airsex show this year, and we're going to end up doing we're still trying to work it out, but I think we're going to do some sort of battle karaoke type thing.
Nice.
How we're going to make that work.
Adam's gonna love that.
What's that?
Adam's gonna love that.
I think it's going to be one of those things that, we're going to have problems getting people off the stage. There's going to be so many people that want to be involved in that. So we're going to try to figure out a way to make it so kind of force everyone to have to try to sing different genres of music, see how that ends up turning out. So it should be fun, but we got parties all the way up till 6 o'clock in the morning if people want to.
Yeah, I made that mistake the last time. Oh, that made for a rough podcasting day.
Yeah, I had a joke one day with one of my friends. I was like, tattoo conventions are the worst place to get tattooed by the best artists.
Right.
Because it really is. They get in there and, you get one on a Saturday or a Sunday and you're probably dealing with a hungover artist.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a convention promoter, there's been more than one time where it's been oh man, everyone watched the party last night, so it's not like you could really say you just had bad food.
Yeah. I've woken up. Over the years we've traded a booth in exchange for podcasting. So basically that convention would be the sponsor of a 10 episode series or however many episodes we did there. And so I've had it happen more than once where our podcast day was Sunday. I wake up Sunday morning I should just write a check for this booth. There's no way to be able to hold up my end of the deal.
It's funny, Jake.
Remember, everyone, pace yourself. You can drink all you want to at home.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no. I don't need another round.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Is it though?
I can't hang out at those parties too long, but the stories I hear the next morning and then the way that people look, I'm like,
well, and the Richmond show clearly, has a party legend that I presume has kind of passed into not all of it, but
34 years old, huh? I was born in 88 in Richmond, Virginia.
oh, wow. Yes.
That was actually my first convention. I may have told you that before, Jesse. I don't know, but I don't know if it was 99 or 2000, but it was the first show that I ever did. And I remember just being scared to death.
It was the first show I met Guy at.
Wow.
The crazy thing is in 99, it probably was one of 7 tattoo conventions in the entire US.
Yeah.
Now it's shit, we got a tattoo convention going on the same weekend in Richmond.
Dude, you bumped me from these dates.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I told you like 8 months, 6 monmonths before too. I'm like, these are the dates I'm getting. These are the dates I'm getting. And then I'm like, these are the dates I got. And you're like, I got those dates too. I can't move them. I'm like,
dude, you know how it is.
It's tough.
Those dang hotels and the convention center.
I do.
It's they say that they only have one date for the whole year, and it's you either take it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I'm not step on your toes, and I know you're not trying to step on mine.
I'm completely fucking around. Like I said, I'm happy. I'm more than happy to have acquiesced and not run. Again, I'm not even going to shows anymore. So how the fuck am I supposed to run one?
You're probably a lot more comfortable in the brain for not going to some of these shows.
Yeah.
You know, I can do a lot of work online. I hit up 3 shows. Yours is probably, you know, obviously if there's one that I'm going to be like, oh man, you know, you know, the thing is though, it's like, I don't want to miss it. But on the other hand, so far I haven't caught the bug. So like, and I know there's going to be a lot of people there. So there's no, you know, it's really weird going to a show and then like hanging out in the smoke pit for 4 days, you know?
We got to figure out a way to get these things merged up and working together.
Well, next year I changed the dates. I was able to go back there and be like, either you want the show a weekend before or after, or you don't.
And for people watching, you're talking about the Paradise Tattoo Gathering.
The Paradise Tattoo Gathering, the Paradise Tattoo something. Again, even though it's next year, I don't necessarily want to go full on tattoo show, but we'll do something. And it's called Tattoo Gathering, and Marcus and Kai are doing the poster. So,
what dates you get, Gabe?
It's yeah, I know. Let's see. You already have. Let's do some live.
Yeah, I hope we can make it. I really.
How can we do this again? It's October.
I really enjoyed the small one we did last year.
You know, Jesse, I was actually in Hell City when the realization of both shows being on the same weekend hit, and I was just like, "You're serious, right? Like, you didn't know
I've got on 2023, the 19th to the 22nd.
Those are Jesse's dates.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but
Pretty
I'm
close.
pretty sure it's the 3rd weekend in October. Moving.
I don't know. I know that I went back to Jimmy Peak and I shifted them.
Okay.
So,
Then-
like I said, if not, I don't care if only 50 people show up.
Well, I'll hopefully they're a weekend apart from each other, and I'll just plan one long trip from Paradise to Richmond.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
And again,
better
the
if we
whole
just
time-
merged everything?
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, it could be, it depends if you consider October 1st is a Sunday. So the 3rd weekend would be the 15th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I mean,
I'm pretty sure Gabe and I discussed this, but I think I'm
Well,
gonna.
I know we discussed it this year too.
We did.
Like I said, like it just
I mean, we
happens,
just-
man.
Yeah, we just didn't discuss it with the hotel, and that's
All right.
you know, it's like I don't, you know, and it works out like this a lot,
Mm.
you know. And I try to give people the benefit of the doubt when I see other conventions like throwing on the same weekend as mine. It's either 1, they don't know about my convention; 2, they don't care about my convention; or 3, their hotel or whatever venue they're working with just said that that's the date they have to go with. Because I mean, it's not like you have full control when you're throwing a convention on what dates they are, and you know, if you want to throw at a specific venue. And unfortunately, here in Richmond, there's only 2 venues that you could actually throw a convention of this size. One's the hotel I'm at, and one's at the convention center. So, you know, you're at the mercy of those dates.
Yeah.
Which is why I like doing the inspiring tours, because we get to pick the dates and the venues at our convenience.
mhm.
And it's a completely different type of like
Oh,
5
yeah.
or 6 people. It's not even you're not competing with any convention doing those types of shows. So.
Nope. Not
Yeah.
even close.
Well, we're over. We're 3 minutes over. I don't know
Okay.
if anyone's mad about that.
I'm pretty upset. I had shit to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll take it up with HR, Jesse.
All right.
I mean, there's more people watching now than there was before, but awesome. Well, it's and we have next week. We do have Thea and Marcus will be on the show,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, nice.
and
Sweet.
we're almost to the point where we could have that thumbnail up here now, so that we could tease the next show at this show, and then we have a whole week to promote it.
I'm glad we have guests regularly now, because I was getting burnt out on on talking to you guys, to be honest.
Oh, Jake.
I just don't have anything left to say to you. That's the problem.
We've been talking about
That's not true. Right.
I do want to say lastly, for anybody traveling to Richmond, there's a bunch of really cool, beautiful places. For example, like Hollywood Cemetery or stuff like that for references. I've spent many, many, many hours through there, and it's just beautiful scenery. Beautiful.
Yeah.
city.
we have the
Where-
6th art museum in the U.S., the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts.
Nice. I
Yeah.
haven't made it there. I'll definitely do that this time around.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So people, what's the best place? If you said it's basically sold out, but if people want to buy tickets to visit the Richmond Tattoo, what's the website? What's the best?
RichmondTattooConvention.com. If there's any exhibitors or artists that ever want to work the show, then we have a submission tab under the contact section. Typically what we do every year is we invite all the old artists back, the ones from prior years. They get first dibs. If they turn down the spot, then we go into our submission forms. And then typically what I'll do is I'll pick the best artists or the artists who I feel like are doing the best work. And then the ones who I think have the best personalities. So I'm trying to fill this convention full of happy people.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Real quick before we go, Jesse, Aurora Borealis, does Iceland interest you at all? Have you been there yet?
That interests me. Are you want to do an inspiring tour there?
Yeah, my wife's got the lodge picked out. It's out of control.
That sounds awesome. Well, hey, let's talk about that on the back end. But and right now is not the time to ask me to do anything.
Oh, I know. Oh, right. Yeah. So we'll talk about it in November.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Good to see you, Jesse.
And everybody, thank you. Next week will be episode number 45. We'll see you then.
Awesome.
Woo.
Have a good week.
See you guys.